It's just not even worth commenting on, is it? Yep, we're going into the second map.
Oh.
It is going to be Mirage. Virtus.pro looked really good on that map yesterday. I think that was the one where we sort of went, oh, okay, Virtus.pro, they're here to play. They were dominant. And then the last two maps in the series, well, they lost. In close fashion, I will admit, but I'm interested to see if we'll have that same sort of like, well, basically the streak that we had yesterday when casting. First map dominant, and then the next map was sort of really close, and it was actually, well, in Virtus.pro's case, taken by the underdog. So Red Reserve, I actually think that realistically, although they did pick Inferno, I think Mirage could actually work better for them, just because they've got, like, Kreese seems like, at least individually, a sound player. I've not seen him before.
I've even played with him. He's actually, yeah, he's pretty good.
Being only 8 years old, of course, it's quite a talent, and
yeah,
he's got the babiest face I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
It's true, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing if they can sort of have some of those individual plays. If we can see Relaxer like step up with the AWP, and at least in terms of like firepower, okay, realistically, Virtus.pro should be a level above, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. I think Red Reserve could definitely put up a fight here. It's just whether or not if VP get into the same groove we saw versus Fragsters, I don't think there's going to be much that RR can do to stop them.
I mean, Kriya's had some, I wouldn't call them misplays, but some weird decision-making at times.
Or super aggressive plays in
yeah,
some circumstances.
but unnecessarily...
this is not live then.
No. Or maybe it's another bad decision. I don't know. No, but he made some, I would say, unnecessary decisions at times. And that's what can definitely happen because he's, you know, coming in as a stand-in, and it's... You want to sacrifice yourself for the team because you don't know exactly what your role is supposed to be. And I get that, but I think it comes with you being a bit uncomfortable, right? And I think on a map like Mirage, if he's not comfortable here, I don't know, there will be no map where he is comfortable, right? So I'm hoping that he will just not make these, I would say, unnecessary plays. But we're going to see Red Reserve, known for gamble stacking, and this time they push through slope, but Virtus.pro not really aware of the fact that Kriya's is now in T spawn, and no one's on B.
Yeah, it's only going to be the flank coming all the way in from Kreese, which realistically should net them quite a bit more information than they currently have. They seem to be playing very passive, almost just setting up for this retake, which... Well, to be fair, they've got all the angles needed for the retake. Snack's going to be going very aggressive and spots the two players holding. And, well, to get out of this situation should be impossible. The only interesting factor is the fact that Bialy is going on a massive flank on the flankers. However, Kreese is so fast in that they just don't expect anybody to be this far forward. Pasha needs to win this battle and can't. And while Bialy into a 1 versus 5, already being spotted out by Kreese as well, they can just start defusing that bomb. They have a kit, and, well, flawless pistol round coming out from Red Reserve. That was impeccable.
Yeah, it was super nice. It's the first pistol round that they win in this series. And it's off the back of... I mean, you kind of say it's off the back of Kriya's, right? But at the same time, Relaxer continuing his good form. 3 kills for him. Didn't really... I mean, Kriya's gets 2 kills and also pushes and gets so much, you know, control and information, but... Getting those 3 kills for Relaxer is definitely not bad either.
VP have bought. They get the bomb plant. They've decided to go for it anyway. Lots of utility pistols and 1 SMG. Leaves a lot to be desired, especially when there's rifles on every single player. Now, it could get a bit interesting if it comes down to a retake, because there's actually not much utility at all. A couple of HEs, a couple of flashbangs, definitely not ideal. Already, Pasha, the one man who's not just using a pistol, is going to be left behind. But let's see if we can see this true power of the CZ. Slight gap in the smoke for Kreese to peek through. And actually, the bomb is going to be dropped by Botan as well. Aggression working out for the CT side. They know in terms of a retake now, they're pretty much all set. And it's looking like a similar scenario here for VP. Okay, they've got the bomb down, but it almost seems like Red Reserve have just allowed them to do it. Mihu, with a nice shot, will at least net 1, but I think he'll be caught. Yep, caught going for the gun. And Bialy, same sort of position as last time. No chance in the retake. Red Reserve will take a second and now have a chance to build up some extra cash. I imagine all we'll really see is the extra bomb plant money invested by VP.
And again, Krios with 2, Relaxer with 1. I mean, this round, obviously, I mean, it's still an important round, right? But it's somewhat easier to win a round like this, where you obviously have the superior weaponry, but still nice to see Krios and Relaxer getting off to a good start. While the others, they haven't even really had much to do. It's just been Krios and Relaxer so far.
Yeah, well, really, nobody getting killed.
Look at how many grenades they bought here again.
Yeah,
3 smokes, 4 HEs. Wow, it's crazy. I think the plan is to do another execute, and then they will probably use their nades on ticket. But this deep smoke functions as a one-way, and now this Molotov means that all the grenades that have been expended are pretty much useless.
Yeah, they're actually going to switch things up and try and go back towards the B site. It's only going to be Freddy Frog here, but there's so little in terms of investment from the T side that the hopes of really doing too much are going to be slim. In fact, they're actually going to go back down the underpass. Well, if that's the case, then they're pushing into the stack, and VP should have absolutely no chance. A good opportunity for Red Reserve to actually make a decent amount of cash in these early rounds. The force spike didn't work out at all, and this one looking like it's about to meet the same fate. Snacks can't even overwhelm Relaxer, and Neo now the only one left to even just try and do a small amount of damage. Instead, they know exactly where he is. A flawless round from the CT side. A huge amount of economy gained very early on in this game for Red Reserve. And going into the next round, we'll finally get a buy from Virtus.pro, but we could have seen AKs in the previous.
Maybe Relaxer should just become the new IGL of the team, or what? What do you think, Tom? He's apparently fragging 10 times harder when he's...
Well, so just call him IGL, just so that he frags better.
Yeah.
I guess. But then if the IGL actually does some good work, then he gets all the credit.
That's interesting.
Ooh, aggressive play. Clearly not feeling frightened. Pasha still performing from the previous map, but the man advantage still sticks, at least for now. Kree's definitely looking more confident on this map. Aggression once again. He gets 2 kills. Okay, Bialy will take him down. He's going to take the fight versus Snacks and doesn't quite manage to win it. That could be the turning point in the round, as now Freddy Frog is the only one left remaining. We'll be pushing up onto short. Now, the bomb's actually at the top of mid, so this could give an opener. A long rotation back from Bialy to go and retrieve it. Snack still waiting patiently in middle, just to try and hold off any rotations, and I wonder if he'll... Well, of course he'll hear the vent pop. I was thinking it may have already been broken, but never mind. Any push back will give away Freddy Frog's position. Bomb is going to be able to cross onto the site itself, and I imagine they're going to plant for the connector just as the sort of safest point that they can plant, as Snacks is currently covering that spot. But now Freddy has to make his move. Has a decent amount of utility. Also has himself a kill, but it won't matter. Snacks takes his head off. Now, of course, CT side, as said, they managed to build up a fair bit of bank off the last few rounds, so they should be able to buy into the next round comfortably. But at the same time, Virtus.pro, they're on the board early enough.
Yeah, it's nice, the first buy round. Some would say almost as important as the first piss round. I'm liking this actually from Red Reserve. They instantly just take a tactical pause, just to talk some things through, and hopefully there's going to be the difference maker, even the coach chiming in.
It gives an opportunity to Virtus.pro as well, though. Of course, this is a sort of much more crucial position for them. Actually, CT side, they don't have as much money as I expected. That could be down to it. They get the double AWP in. Botten will be able to afford a rifle, but yeah, considering how clean they managed to keep the last few rounds, it's not as stacked as you would have thought. And Botten actually, yeah, he's going to have to go for a UMP instead. So not ideal, but still a pretty damn good buy. And if they can win this one, of course, Virtus.pro are going to be the ones with the money detriment. And to have a double AWP so early is actually something that could catch the Poles off guard. They're going back to a much more standard setup. Don't have a huge amount of utility themselves, and Mihu is already going to start things off. Bottom is going to have an awful lot to do. There's players above him, but it won't matter. Bialy takes his head clean off, and the CT side may just have to make the decision to try and save here. Neo again, another instant headshot from the T side, and while Plessen and Freddy Frog looking to try and get back in, but I have to admit, I think once it got with the bomb onto the site in 3 versus 5, I wonder if just saving the double up setup could have been worthwhile.
I think it definitely could have. I understand why Relaxer wants to go hunting. Gets pretty unlucky with the fact that the smoke acts as a one-way for the T's. But I understand why he goes looking for one frag. If he gets that one frag, then he could potentially open up the round. Well played by Freddy Frog. Uses the Molotov to force out a move. And punishes it. And now even another from Freddy Frog. We should be going down. And in the end, it's all for nothing. A bit of economical damage here, which actually does keep the terrorists' economy low. So not all for nothing, but does not save the AWP. And they'll just be looking to get some CZs here in the next round, which is, yeah, I mean, I want to say it's an unlikely win, but with how it's been in this tournament, it's almost a more likely win if you have CZs. They don't even actually go for it. They go for the full eco. So that's actually nice. That probably means they won't double eco, and that means that
I think they'll
be buying up
extra.
next.
Yeah. Second round of loss bonus. But
oh yeah, it's because Krios has saved some money somehow. He has 3.8 or so. So because of that, he could drop an AWP, and then they will just play M4s with very, very low utility. Or even buy UMPs.
Oh.
They didn't even realize.
Still going to be coming in from behind. That's actually the bomb as well. I don't think it's going to play too much of a part in the round just based off the weaponry. Bialy actually just looks to try and retrieve the AWP and duck out of there. Doesn't want that going into the hands of their opponents. Snacks with the clock from there. Taps down Kreese. It will be a round with 4 players surviving for Virtus.pro. So now they start to build up a bank themselves. But as you said, there is going to be a buy coming back in. AWP will be dropped over to Relaxer. And yes, there is quite severe limitations. They've got smokes at least, but it's again, if it comes down to a retake, I think they're screwed.
Yeah, not a lot to work with, and no Molotovs means that, as you say, at least the retake on the A-bomb side is going to be more or less impossible. I'm liking this from Freddy Frog. An angle that too rarely gets flashed, in my opinion. We'll see if it will be the case this time around. Pasha going to be flashing. Fully blind, has to give up the angle. I mean, this is just such simple Counter-Strike, but the only right way to play. So it's really nice to see from Virtus.pro. And with that, Freddy Frog gets dropped.
Yeah, already the opener going the way of VP. Looking strong so far on their T side. Plessen. He's going to manage to trade things back. Mihu not able to get too much done from such an advantageous position. Pasha is, with this AWP once again, catches Plessen with a nade in hand, but the frag isn't going to go his way, and actually it's Snacks instead who manages to get into the window room to catch one more. Relaxer now has the pressure on his shoulders, that AWP at the back of sight, and not much help to go with it. Snacks, another found from him. This lurk into the window room has done so much damage, and now Kreese and Plessen once again in a position where saving may have to be the call made. They don't have a kit, and as we mentioned, retaking this site is going to be very difficult indeed. And well, I think it's almost certain that this is going to be a 4th round. Pasha through the smoke just wrecks Plessen, and Kreese is all that remains.
You know, when someone makes a lurk like that, what's next? This just does not seem right. That's actually really... actually gets on my nerves. You have 2 teammates exiting slope, you have the AWP. Why would you be the one to hunt? Especially when you're also 30 HP. I mean, I'm thinking he's probably not hunting, just wants to get away, but I mean, exit with your team. There's really no reason not to. I can only assume that the reason why he did what he did was because he was low HP. or at least somewhat low HP, and was afraid that he would die if he went slow, but I feel fairly certain he had the time. He could have just taken a kill in window and we would have had like 25 seconds to run away. His teammates had cleared him in an avenue that he could have used. But I mean, it's a crazy lurk what Snacks did when the casters who have access to the minimap overview don't even realize it before it happens. Oh, this does not look like Pleasant.
He's had a makeover. Well, Mihu is going to give him a few burns to go with it. Still got that AWP onto Relaxer. The real factor is, though, I think they should just gamble somewhere and try and basically set that AWP up. If it doesn't work, just save it. Bring it into the next round. The money is going to be fairly decent for them anyway, of course, because they do have the maximum loss bonus. Mihu actually running through the Molotov. Well, there's only one member on this A side. Snacks, he's looking awake in this map, which, again, is always a scary prospect. We've spoke about like, a lot of players sort of being quiet for Virtus.pro, but so far in this map, I don't think there's anyone I'm really too worried about. Okay, Neo's 1-5 at the moment, but you look at the rest of the scoreboard.
If you're Red Reserve here, you really need to take a tactical timeout. I mean, they are just walking all over you. And the problem I see is that while I said that Relaxer was doing such a good job early on, I feel like the past few buy rounds, it's just been the case that he's been holding pretty passive. We saw it here, right? He was going short, but he was just holding a passive angle onto Delphin, hoping someone walks into his scope. And in the meantime, his teammates are dying. Now, it's not obviously his fault. We do actually see him try something a bit more aggressive here, but we need to see some more aggressiveness from this orb. We need to see him trying to open up the map. And Neo is going to be dropping here. But what I mean is just that he's been playing it a bit too passive. And Virtus.pro, they just have a really good feeling for where the orb is playing. So they've just been flashing him off the passive angles every single time. And he's really not had much impact since those initial 7 kills. This is more like the Relaxer I know, even though it's currently not the best play. I'm liking the aggressiveness.
Watson actually going to go back towards the ramp as well. Now, he knows that there's a player in Palace, so it's not like he's been bamboozled and he's going to continue his push, not knowing that they are still back behind him. And it means that actually, out of all the spots he could have taken on this ace, this is probably the best one, because there's a player pushing in from behind as well in the form of Snacks. So the rotation's not going to help too much from Snacks, whereas it could have been a backstab if he'd still been anywhere near the site. Instead, Botan, well, his position should be fairly calculated. Both CT members are going to gather up together. Snacks still looking to just try and clear out the angles, but as said, they pretty much realize exactly where Botan is. He's going to go looking to push into the side. Gets pretty close. Actually finds Bialy. Now Pasha's up above. And they may have a decent idea of where he's going to currently be sitting. Snacks going to go rotating into the open, but Botan finds him as well. And now Pasha with a long rotation back to try and get into a position. And I don't think he's going to have time to do anything here. Even if he does, Relaxer will hear the footsteps. And although Pasha will take the kill, it is a great round from Botan. Picking up a double, great play to move over towards the ramp. And yeah, overall just good stuff from him.
It's pretty much impossible to know at this point, right? But imagine if Botan kills Bialy, I believe it was, down on the side, and then uses the VP smoke to just instantly diffuse, because Snacks was running around to jungle, and Pasha had no way of actually, killing him off. It so rarely happens, but that's what I would have liked to see. Of course, there's no way of knowing, and he played it pretty much perfectly. So it's a good round from him for sure, and puts the 4th on the board for Red Reserve.
Already, Kreese. He's going to kick things off. He's been the one who's been pretty happy to go aggressive, and, well, it's not worked out for the rest of his team, at least. Pasha will catch Pleasant after the trade, and Relaxer tries to do the same in return, but is met by Neo. Now the man advantage sits with Virtus.pro. Now this could be a pretty poor scenario. There's only one player survived in the previous round for the CT side, and Virtus.pro, they still have a bit of cash to play with. Even after this point, Neo is going to go for that plant over towards the connector, and Bialy just decapitates bottom before he can do anything else. Freddy Frog now left completely out of the action. And yeah, this is the problem. The scoreboard shows it. There is no money. $800 is the maximum they have. And they're only going to get 1,400 into the next. This is a hard reset for Red Reserve, unless, of course, Freddy Frog can do something ludicrous. And there's very small chance that he knows that Pasha is behind him. He's got the awareness to know that it's highly likely there's somebody around that angle after not spotting anybody in connector. But the fact is, there should be absolutely nothing he can do here, although he's actually going to sneak in. They've heard the defusal. He's going to be right on it, but Bialy is there to deny. I like the cheekiness of the attempt. I'm a little bit confused as to why Pasha didn't peek at all, but I suppose he just assumed the round was done.
Yeah, he even had a smoke, I think, Freddy Frog. I mean, in that case, I think it's actually the best to not use the smoke, simply because they will hear the smoke and instantly know it's a ninja defuse, but if they just were a bit further away, they might not even have heard him press the bomb. So, well played by Freddy Frog. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be this time around, and Virtus.pro once again looking dominant as ever. Relaxa could be finding a kill onto Mihu, but instead he just gained so much ground, and with how confident Red Reserve normally looks on this map, really feels like Virtus.pro are just walking all over them. And as I say that, they actually pick up 2 kills. Bialy finds one at the same time though, but it seems like whenever Red Reserve have the advantage, they make another play somewhere else on the map, and that immediately throws away the advantage.
Relaxa has managed to retrieve himself an AK-47, but all in all, it shouldn't make too much difference in this round. An open plant for Virtus.pro as they look to try and get themselves a 7th. Of course, not everything invested here for Red Reserve, but the fact is, going into the next round, they won't be able to buy too much anyway. Relaxa looks to try and make some sort of play back in, although saving the AK definitely seems like the more valuable of the 2 options, and he will be able to just about escape with his life. His teammate, Freddy, actually has Kevlar, so you could even just do a straight-up switch going into the next round, give him the AK-47 and throw the CZ over. It looks like he's going to try and take an exit of his own and is about to meet up with Bialy. Bialy not going to be missing the shot. He actually goes down trying to retrieve that orb.
Yeah, that's... I mean, with how the money looks on the Virtus.pro side, I don't think it will matter much anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be crying too much over that one.
No. The interesting thing will be to see if they just play the AK without armor, because I feel whenever you have a rifle and you don't have armor, it just seems so weird. And they will actually be buying a body armor on Relaxa, who is the team's AWPer, and that's why it's extra interesting to me, because now he has less money for the buy round and should not be able to get an AWP even in the next. So that could be a problem. Pasha opening up onto Gordon, and then Relaxa comes in with the AK. Pasha finding 2 more. The CZ, 3 HP left for him as well, so he will fall back into hiding. And then Relaxa with yet another, and now Pleasant as well with one. Could even find a second, but this is possible now with Pasha so low on HP and Neo also not being completely healthy. With some rocket boots here, Relaxa might even be able to catch Neo. Oof, he spotted him, I think. He must have. Ooh. Good tag from Pasha and the follow-up nade. 1 HP.
You've got to run at this point. You've got to just try and get out of there.
I would try it still. The bomb is not planted for Pasha, and I mean, he kind of knows where Neo is, right? No kit, but if he wins this fight, could win the round. Oh no, that's a bit unfortunate. Now it's time to run. It's unfortunately a bit too late. A nice try though. If he gets the kill on Neo, I think he even
got all Pasha when he initially peaks.
Yeah, sure. I mean, but the kill on Neo would mean that Pasha can't really do much from slope, and then it doesn't really matter if you don't have a kit or not. It's if you can just fake out the bomb. It's a pretty easy round to play, but with the timer getting so low as well, I mean, it would have still been a bit of a struggle. I had faith in the tattooed of the 2 brothers.
I did not. There we go. CT's going to be pushing up middle. They're trying to take some initiative themselves. Snax is caught. They are going to take that man advantage early on, mid-control. We'll go with it, and actually Bottas continuing the push round, but that's because the push in the meantime from the T's has come onto the site. Actually slowed down a little bit here, which sometimes the congestion alone of this push can actually be the death of a lot of the T's. And well, now Kreese with the flashbang behind him already opens one a second as well for the stand-in. And while it leaves Pasha with the AWP alone to try and fight, and he does not last long at all. Flawless round from Red Reserve, a great way to bounce back into things. However, there's no foot off the pedal for VP. They still have cash.
Yeah, but that's what some Facebook posts would call semi-permanent. Do you really not realize that I'm... Okay.
I'm not like an expert on Facebook, I'll be honest.
Well, you talked about someone advertising semi-permanent tattoos, and you were like, well then it's not permanent, it's temporary.
That was on Instagram.
Okay, well, how would I know?
You ruined the joke.
I'm just saying, okay, that they might only semi-permanently have money, okay, is what I'm just trying to say here, Tom. And now, if they lose this round,
This is the worst point of all time.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, I'm just, Tom. You know what? I've had enough of you. I'm getting on the first plane home. You can cast all by yourself. You could even, I mean, your girlfriend's here. You could cast together.
I don't mind. Cute couple things.
Yeah, I'm not so sure everyone else would think that.
Then I can make one of those Facebook posts, you know?
Oh yeah, one of the semi-permanent ones?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you can click see less often.
Okay.
I've just combined like
if you made a Facebook post, I would click see more. It's actually such a wholesome
yeah, it's
sentence.
cute.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the game, back to the action. Not a lot of action has transpired so far during this round, but the T's are gaining a lot of ground, and they barely hit the B side at all. But now Pleasant, even though he hasn't warmed up by taking heads, he is now doing exactly that. Pasha does do the trade on the first, and Freddy Frog legged but not downed.
By dust.
Yeah.
Here we go. Snacks, can he make the clutch happen? Manages to get the first. Kreese avoids the bullets of Snacks, who has looked pretty good so far. However, getting back into this is very difficult. Relaxer holding the cross. Red Reserve managed to streak a couple together, and actually the money now not going to be in place for Virtus.pro going into this final round of the half. An 8-7 potential, which is exactly the same as what we saw on Inferno in the first. However, it was VP's CT side yesterday, which I think was the most impressive of the two.
Yeah, they got 13 rounds in CT. So, I mean, if that was if that was not what you thought, then
yeah, but then they didn't lose a single T, technically.
Yeah, it was 16-6.
Was it? Oh no, yeah, that was the other game.
Yeah.
Close enough. They
Seriously,
actually lost
Tom,
more
man.
games than they lost more rounds than they won. But let's ignore that.
Snacks, yeah. With the Deagle. Ooh. Tasty headshot onto the first. Pleasant did a really sick play last round, but this time it will be harder. Actually even gives up his teammate a bit. Freddy Frog not aware that that's even a possibility. And with that, it looks more and more like a Virtus.pro round, but Pleasant doing his best, trying to change that. Mihu in a solid position. A bit of a bait setup, perhaps. Actually even peaks before by Ali, it seems. So now, Relaxer, last man standing, gonna be dropped low, and there should be no way he can win this, and there is not. So, 9-6, and as you said already, Tom, Virtus.pro had a pretty solid CT side, to say the least, yesterday. A very dynamic one at that.
Yeah.
They were doing A setups, playing heavy mid and
Snacks
stuff.
is just giving.
Those glasses, they fit him so well. Imagine having like Snacks as an airplane pilot with those glasses. That would be so sick. I don't know. I don't think
I thought the stuff that I said was like weird. You're thinking about Snacks
No, but
being
it's
your
like-
airline pilot.
No, I'm thinking like, imagine Snacks instead of, it's Tom Cruise, right, in Top Gun? Imagine Snacks playing that role with those glasses. That would honestly be insane. I would watch that. I wouldn't do anything but watch that.
I think I'd be a bit
rest of my
scared
life.
if like Pasha's voice came over, like the sort of speakers, like "Hello, my friend." I'd just be like, "Oh God, I'm dead."
Instead of Iceman, Biceps Man.
Here we go, though. An important pistol for Red Reserve. And for VP, I suppose. They're going to want to get themselves right back into this even up the score. And actually, we've seen Molotov actually missed. That's going to actually hurt Pleasant more than anything else. Not by much. He's going to continue his push, and well, he's just dancing his way all the way through. Although Vent not being first does help them assume there's not going to be anybody around this window room area. T-side all going to be gathering up to hit towards B, and it'll be Mihu to try and lead the way. Snack's going to quickly rotate in, but can Mihu hit the shot? The answer to that is a solemn no, but Snacks can. He gets himself already a third in this round and leaves it onto his teammates in this somewhat retake scenario, though the bomb is yet to be planted. They're trying to get rid of Neo from short, and in fact, they fail. Pasha and Neo combine. Virtus.pro win the pistol, and now we'll see if they can break back in the second.
I think if Counter-Strike was a game of only pistol rounds, Snacks would by far be the best player. I feel like every time we've seen him with a USP in hand, he's
Dennis?
just... I don't know. I think Dennis is just good with all pistols, I guess. So yeah, if it was a game of pistol rounds, I'd agree. But I think Snacks might be the best USP player in the world. He's crazy good. I think he got 3 kills in this as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
King.
Oh, he's definitely having a good map as well. And I think it's been... This has been a better showing just all round from VP. Like, we've seen every single player...
winning?
Well, they won the first map of the last one. And the other ones were really close. So, no, I just mean, like, there's no one player that I'm looking at and just going, okay, they're playing incredibly well. Although Snacks is one to mention. But Pasha's had a great series. Like,
yeah,
right near the top of the board for the whole thing, which I definitely don't think we saw yesterday. But then again, this was the map that they did just absolutely dominate. So it's a scary time for Red Reserve. They're going to go back to this B hit once again. Molotovs will at least hold them out a little bit early. Wonder if they're going to set up the wall of smokes towards that short position. I like that little wall of smokes. I think that's one of my favorite sets on this map.
This is not the wall of smokes for short. This one goes to the window. To the wow.
I knew you were going to do that.
Sorry. They rush in. Good bait setup. Snacks gets the first, but not even more. Mihu actually also drops after just 1 kill. They even did the smoke wall with the windows. That's interesting. Riley doesn't care about the smokes though. Just takes Freddy Frog through the smoke. Neo gets 1 as well, and then Bialy to clean up. It's nice to see Bialy here on the M4 with all this PUBG he's playing. He must be used to it. I guess you could say the same thing for the UMP.
I honestly just don't play that game at all.
I don't really either. I just know some of the guns because sometimes I like to start it up. I like to jump out of the plane, kill off all the AFK players, find a motorcycle, and just drive as fast as I can without dying.
Okay.
Sometimes I do it in real life as well.
I don't think that's something you should admit to on air. Just murdering people who are standing still.
No. It was only the last part about taking a motorcycle and trying not to die.
Kill people who are standing still. Well, no, actually, you said AFK.
Yeah.
So that's away from
So
keyboard.
that's just
That's a
literally
hell of a
everyone.
lot of people. Anybody who's outside NATO Suffix is trying to kill. And then he steals a
They
motorcycle.
can even be inside, I mean. As long as they just don't have a keyboard nearby. One time I went down to a club, and it was just like, a guy brought a keyboard. It was actually the DJ. He was there with a keyboard.
Oh, so you
was
couldn't
like,
kill him then?
Yeah, it was a shame. Damn shame.
Everyone else.
Everyone else. But then they gathered up around him, and it was just...
Oh, God.
Yeah, this joke has gone way too far. I feel like, I mean, in terms of... I guess it's what you're looking for, right? But these eco rounds, it's not like we're really talking about the game, but we're doing our best at keeping them entertaining. I mean, we're failing miserably, but
there you go.
we're doing our best.
Snacks. It's going to be on the AWP. Actually, interesting is him over Pasha, who has been the one picking it up, at least over the last couple of days. But, well, this is just an absolute slaughter. Bialy with 3 quick kills. Kreese with everything left to do. He's hoping to find Pasha at least, but the fact is there's no hope in this round. The bomb is dropped. He's got 15 HP. He's got players hunting. And in fact, Neo will shut him down. A flawless round coming out from Virtus.pro, starting their CT side off strong again. And Red Reserve, they can't afford to buy into this one, so it is just going to have to be a few more pistols until they go for what could be their last-ditch effort of breaking back in this game.
Yeah, they went to the Virtus.pro school of playing these semi-buys. A lot of smokes, a few Kevlars, and probably some sort of an execute. That's what I'm going to assume with all of the smokes. So they're first going to try to deny mid control. This is actually interesting. So it looks like they are doing the smoke wall again.
But they're going to go A.
But they're going to go A. And because of this single window smoke, you can see Virtus.pro are now playing heavy mid. So hopefully they can force the rotations over to B because yeah, exactly, this is what happens. You know, Mihu gets on the wrong side of the smokes. They even got through the smokes behind short, behind Mihu. Now all of the rotations have been pulled. There's only one player on A, and it's all just one big fake. Now Button, he can even play inside these smokes with an AK. That's crazy. If they manage to down Bialy here, that could be it.
Yeah, get triggered. Bialy has been good so far, holding down this site, picks up a second, and he's bought some time. There's a quick rotation coming in from Neo. And actually, bomb not being planted, it gives him even more time. He's going to be able to rotate in, may even catch one as they cross over to the site, although it seems like their vision has been held. But there you go, Neo pounces Freddy Frog, going strong. Now it's left all onto Pasha, but oh, that was close. Bottom goes down. Freddy's going to be left into the 1 versus 1. He almost gets caught himself and takes a lot of damage from the nade. Pasha will rectify the problem. It will be 14-6, but a lot of damage done at least. And in terms of the amount of money that will be there for Red Reserve in the next round, well, there'll be a little bit extra.
Really, really nice execution, though. I mean, it looked a bit sloppy from Red Reserve on the B-bomb side. Oh, I'm loving this. A bit of VM. I like it. Gotta have that. Gotta have that.
He's got a little smug smile on his face.
Of course. Papa BM. But, yeah, I mean, it's just... It looked a little sloppy, but it was actually a super nice execution. I think the one guy even went underground, and the other guy was obviously Boten, who then got a kill. And then the crazy part was he even went short with the AWP and killed Bialy. He was the one to get the kill on the guy Firebox. So, I mean... his decision-making in that round, Boten, was just really, really nice. He caught the perfect timing on pushing out short and stuff. A really sick round from him. Unfortunately, even with Freddy Frog's 2 instant headshots, it wasn't enough to deny Virtus.pro their 14th out of the first 20. So, pretty crazy. Tactical pause, called by Red Reserve, we must assume.
Yeah, and VP, even if they lose this one, even after the amount of damage that was taken in the last round, they still have enough money to buy back up. Double AWP setup in for Pasha and Snacks, who have been 2 of the 3 heavy hitters so far. So it's Bialy up there with them. I'm going to see a little bit of utility expended early into middle. You've got Relaxer on his AWP as well, but much more of a sort of standard default coming out from the T side, waiting for any aggression. Seems to have come in onto short early on, but CT's just going to rotate back.
And heavy mid, or at least a somewhat heavy mid setup. I actually love this setup so much, but it doesn't really matter about the setup. Relaxer's just going to go and open mid. Borden unfortunately gets found by Neo, who's pushing, and he is going to go find the bomb now as well. Realizes it. Kriya's coming back to try to regain control, which Neo is not aware of, but oh, I love this. Throwing the smoke and going through it in that situation is a crazy play. Not quite sure what's going on in the mind of Pasha, but I want whatever he's having.
T's now do take the advantage, although not for long. Snacks manages to catch Freddy Frog on the A side, and they're still just waiting to try and get this back. They're aware of the potential of Neo, at least from crossing, but he's just going to be hiding in the corner. This is such a good angle, but the flash lasts long enough that it won't matter. Mihu turns things once again. And actually, Mihu finds one more, leaves it all onto Snacks. That's a quick flick from Relaxer, at least. And both players so unbelievably low. It is just going to come down to very small margins. The problem is, though, the time. I don't think it's going to matter. Mihu can just run away. There's no time for Relaxer to do anything. He knows that he needs to kill, and that is it. Mihu will just be able to save. If that had gone through like 16 walls and killed Mihu, I would have been very impressed.
I mean, if it was 1.6, it might have happened, you know. Or Call of Duty.
That's just a bad game, though.
Yeah, 1.6?
Sure,
Why do you hate 1.6, Tom? You just upset all of our viewers.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
No, it's fine. They're all 8 years old, so they never played 1.6.
They're all Krios' twin brothers.
Yeah.
Talking about twin brothers. Relaxer. With the AWP once again. Of course, he saved it. Oh, he's looking to do it all by himself, but great grenade usage from Snacks, and look at this angle he's taken on top of the bench. Knowing Relaxer, I think he'll push forward even further. This angle is actually a crazy one, but I think it will be enough to do the job.
Plassen may just hit the timing here onto Neo, and we'll find the opener. Not going to be a trade available. Pasha hoping that he could get something back before anything swings out of control. Relaxer actually catches Snacks as well, although there is just going to be a quick trade, and in fact Bialy's caught another, leaving it into a 3 versus 3. Mihu even looking to try and re-aggress, maybe able to catch them. He's boosted himself up. There's 2 players here. He spots Plassen, but Botten quick to trade. It's on to Pasha. 1v2 hits the first, and Botten just below, but he wins the battle. Red Reserve survive a little bit longer. It's going to be 15 and 7. Money actually not that great for Virtus.pro either. It's, in fact, only Mihu with any money going into the next, so it may be a little bit of a let-off, a bit of a break. Either that, or we could just see a force.
I'm really hoping that Virtus.pro don't force into this. I mean, I hate when you have a big lead and you buy up into rounds unnecessarily. Yeah, so about that.
Yeah.
No, but I just don't really see why, if you're up 15-7, you would want to purchase a Scout, UMP, a CZ, M4, and an AWP. I mean, seems a bit crazy, but maybe they just want to end it as fast as possible. Something that is fast for sure is Mihu's AWP, and also the incoming terrorists on the B-bomb side. Snacks with 1, Snacks with 2, and not quite the last, but this could be the end of Red Reserve in Betsnet Masters. Neo with the Scout. Pleasant peeks out, gets dropped down low, and that is going to be it. Virtus.pro take it 16-7. And the force buy currently working out better than I had expected.
Well, yeah, I think when Snacks is playing like that, it's difficult to play against. A great ending to what has been a good performance from him overall, finishing 24 and 5, and then Pasha
24 and 15. 24 and 5 would be really sick.
Whatever. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, 19 kills for Pasha and Bialy apiece. Although, no, Bialy gets 20. It changed just as I said it. I'm totally not reading this off anything. But yeah, a good performance from Virtus.pro, showing us that they can at least play Inferno to a level that was enough to beat Red Reserve, and then dominating the map that they chose even. So yeah, a decent performance from them. I do think they've probably just beaten what is one of the weaker, if not the weakest team in the tournament, just based off not having their in-game leader here. I think that's a sort of a heavy hit for a team that doesn't get too many opportunities at LAN events. I think that's going to be the biggest pain for them, is like, I think they'll go home thinking, you know what, okay, we can't really go too much into how we did here, but at the same time, it sucks that that had to happen.
Yeah, but I think one of the funny things about Red Reserve as well, I know going into the tournament, when I talked to some players and I said that you know, I was going to cast the event, and at Red Reserve, for example, didn't have the IGL and stuff, I remember people just saying like, what does he even do in the team, right? Is he important? I think they'll do well without him and stuff like that. And I'm not to say that I said that was wrong, because I obviously didn't know what kind of impact he had on this team, but I mean, it was a completely different Red Reserve we saw compared to how they are online. And obviously, that could be either the IGL, or it could be the pressure, or the fact that they're just playing better teams. But I mean, I think it's safe to say that they would have had better results with their full lineup. That's pretty obvious. But it also, I think that DJL, the guy that they are missing, has a bigger role in the team than it looks like on his stats, of course, or however you want to view it. But I mean, I think he's sitting at home thinking to himself that with him they probably could have done better.
Well, I think also props have to go to Kreese for just trying to jump in. And I think he had
put up some
decent stats, obviously top of the board in the final map, but obviously one where they never really looked like they were in the game at all. I think over on their CT side they had a little bit more hope, but at the same time, I don't think Virtus.pro ever really lost control of that map. I don't think there was a point where I was looking at it going, hey, you know what? Oh, yeah, this is Red Reserve's moment. They look dominant from start to finish. Either way, we are going to be heading off to a short break, and you'll be joined by James with his desk once again.
5 reasons to bet on bets.net. 1. We are not a bookmaker agency. We are a betting exchange. We are fine with any outcome of the event, so we have no reason not to pay your win. The information about the bets is available for everyone in real time. We stand for fair esports. 2. Instant replenishment and withdrawal of funds. No delays, checks, and restrictions. 3. Convenient mobile app on iOS and Android. All site functionality is in your pocket. Bonuses for each user of the app. 4. More than 800,000 people trust us. We are the most visited esports bet site in the CIS. 5. All coefficients are fully transparent and the commission rate is the lowest. We play fair and square. Bets.net. Visit us and